In Japan, highways play music as you drive over them. Taxi doors open on their own, and ice cream can sit in the sun without melting. Japan doesn't just innovate because they can. Every solution feels like someone actually sat down and asked, how can we make this moment in someone's day just a little smoother, a little easier, and maybe even a little magical? Here are 12 things Japan does that honestly need to exist everywhere. First up, melody roads. Japan has stretches of highway where the road itself plays music as you drive over it. And this isn't some gimmicky tourist attraction, it's actual infrastructure designed to make driving safer and more engaging. Here's how it works. Grooves are carved into the road surface at very specific intervals. When your tires pass over these grooves, they vibrate. But because the grooves are spaced according to precise mathematical ratios, those vibrations don't just create noise. They create pitched musical notes. Drive at the recommended speed limit, usually around 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, and you hear a recognizable melody. Drive too fast or too slow, and the song sounds distorted or off-key. The experience is genuinely delightful. You're cruising down a quiet stretch of highway, and suddenly your car starts humming a tune you recognize. Some roads play folk songs, others play classic Japanese melodies. One stretch in Hokkaido plays a tune that locals have known since childhood. The steering wheel vibrates slightly with each note. It's subtle but unmistakable. And here's the genius part. The system naturally encourages you to maintain a safe, consistent speed. If you speed up to pass someone or slow down because you're distracted, the music goes out of tune immediately. You notice. You adjust. Meanwhile, in most other countries, we use speed limit signs that people ignore and speed cameras that just make drivers angry. Japan turned safe driving into something you actually want to participate in. The melody roads are a reminder that infrastructure doesn't have to be purely functional. It can be an experience. And when infrastructure becomes an experience, people engage with it differently. Second, umbrella lockers at convenience stores and train stations. Japan solved the wet umbrella problem in the most elegant way possible. You walk into a building on a rainy day, and right there at the entrance is a tall, narrow stand with long plastic sleeves. You take one sleeve, slide your wet umbrella into it, and the plastic seals around it automatically. Now your umbrella isn't dripping all over the floor, and you're not awkwardly trying to prop it against a wall or shove it into your bag. The mechanism is brilliantly simple. The stands dispense thin plastic sleeves from a roll, kind of like produce bags at a grocery store. You pull one out, open it up, and insert your umbrella. Some machines are manual, others are automatic and motorized. You just stick the umbrella tip into a slot, and the machine feeds the plastic sleeve down over the entire length of the umbrella in about 2 seconds. The plastic clings slightly so it stays in place. When you leave, you just pull the umbrella out, toss the sleeve in a nearby bin, and you're done. It's such a small thing, but it eliminates so much low-level annoyance. You're not leaving puddles on the floor of a store. You're not slipping on someone else's umbrella drippings. You're not doing that awkward shuffle where you're trying to carry a soaking wet umbrella while also holding your phone, your wallet, and a coffee. Everywhere else, we just accept that rainy days mean wet floors and chaos. Japan said no, let's just fix that, and they did, with a plastic sleeve and a simple dispenser. Third, the IC card system for basically everything. In Japan, you can use a single rechargeable card for trains, buses, vending machines, convenience stores, coin lockers, and even some taxis. The card is called different names depending on the region. Suica in Tokyo, Ikoka in Osaka, Pasmo in some areas. But they all work on the same contactless payment system, and they're all interoperable across the country. Now, here's what makes it so smooth. You buy the card for a small deposit, load it with cash or link it to an account, and then you just tap it on a sensor whenever you need to pay for something. Getting on the train? Tap the card on the reader at the gate. Buying a drink from a vending machine? Tap the card on the machine. Checking out at a convenience store? Tap the card on the register. The transaction takes less than a second. No cash. No fumbling for coins, no waiting for change. And it's not just about speed. The card keeps a record of your balance and your last few transactions. If you're running low, you get a little beep or a message on the screen. You can reload the card at any station or convenience store in about 10 seconds. You insert cash or use a credit card, select an amount, and the balance updates instantly. The whole system is designed to eliminate friction. You're not constantly doing math in your head about whether you have enough coins. You're not getting stuck behind someone at a ticket machine trying to figure out fare zones. You just tap and go. In most other places, public transit means paper tickets, exact change machines, fare cards that only work in one city, and a dozen different apps that may or may not accept your credit card. Japan unified the whole thing decades ago, and the result is that moving through the city feels effortless. The technology disappears, you stop thinking about payment and just think about where you're going. Fourth, the restaurant table call button. In Japan, most restaurants have a small button at each table. When you're ready to order, you press it. A light goes on in the kitchen or at a central station. A staff member sees the light, knows exactly which table pressed it, and comes over. You order. Done. When you need the check, you press the button again. Someone comes. You pay. You leave. The system removes all the anxiety and awkwardness of trying to get a server's attention. You're not sitting there waving your hand like you're hailing a cab. You're not making eye contact and hoping someone notices you. You're not interrupting a server who's clearly busy with another table. You just press a button and help arrives. It's discreet, it's reliable, and it respects everyone's time. The button itself is usually a small plastic dome or a flat touchpad built into the table. Some light up when you press them. Others make a soft chime. Fancier places have touchscreens where you can browse the menu, place your order directly, and even pay without ever talking to a server if you don't want to. But even in casual spots, the button is standard. It's such a small piece of infrastructure, but it changes the whole dining experience. You're not worried about being ignored. You're not stressing about whether you've been waiting too long. You press a button, and within a minute, someone is there. Meanwhile, everywhere else, dining out involves a weird performance where you try to make yourself visible without being rude, and servers try to check on you without being intrusive. Japan just eliminated the whole dance. Press a button, get service, move on. If you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It actually helps this channel reach people who want to discover more ideas like these. And if you're the kind of person who wonders why the rest of the world hasn't caught up yet, you're going to want to stick around for what's coming next. Fifth, vending machines for everything. Japan has over 5 million vending machines. That's one for every 25 people. But it's not just the quantity, it's the variety. You can buy hot coffee, cold coffee, tea, soup, fresh eggs, umbrellas, batteries, shirts, ties, toys, ice cream, pizza, and even fresh produce from vending machines. They're everywhere. On street corners, in train stations, outside apartment buildings, in the middle of quiet neighborhoods. The machines themselves are incredibly sophisticated. The hot and cold drink machines have separate internal compartments with independent temperature controls. You select a drink, and the machine dispenses it at exactly the right temperature. Hot drinks come out hot enough to warm your hands, but not so hot that you can't drink them immediately. Cold drinks come out properly chilled, even on a summer day when it's 35 degrees outside. Some machines have touch screens. Others have simple mechanical buttons, but they all work. They're maintained constantly, and they almost never break down. Here's the part that really stands out. The machines accept coins, bills, and IC cards. You insert your payment, make a selection, and the drink drops into the retrieval slot within 2 seconds. If the machine is out of a particular item, the button is dimmed or turned off. So you're not wasting money on something that won't be dispensed. If you overpay, the machine gives you change. If you tap an IC card and the transaction fails for some reason, the card is refunded automatically. And because Japan is so safe, these machines just sit outside, unguarded, often in completely isolated areas. You'll see a vending machine on the side of a rural road with no buildings in sight. It's fully stocked. It works perfectly. No one vandalizes it. No one tries to break into it. The whole system is built on a foundation of trust and reliability that most other places simply don't have. Everywhere else, vending machines are a gamble. Will it take your money and give you nothing? Will the drink be warm when it's supposed to be cold? Will the machine even work at all? In Japan, and vending machines are just another form of infrastructure. Reliable, everywhere, and absurdly convenient. Sixth, the Koban system. A Koban is a small neighborhood police station. They're tiny buildings, often just 1 or 2 rooms, staffed by a few officers, and they're everywhere. In Tokyo alone, there are nearly 1,000 of them. You're almost never more than a 5 or 10 minute walk from a Koban. The officers who staff these stations aren't there to respond to emergencies. They're there to help with everyday problems. You're lost and need directions. Walk into a Koban. You lost your wallet? They'll help you file a report and tell you where to check for lost items. You found a lost item? You bring it to the Koban and they'll log it and try to find the owner. Your bike got a flat tire and you're not sure where the nearest repair shop is? They'll point you in the right direction. The Koban officers know their neighborhoods. They walk around. They introduce themselves to local business owners. They know which streets are poorly lit. They know where kids walk to school. And because they're a constant, visible presence, crime stays low. Not because of aggressive policing, but because the relationship between the police and the community is built on daily, mundane interactions. The officers aren't strangers who show up only when something goes wrong. They're neighbors. This system creates a sense of safety that goes beyond statistics. You know that if something happens, help is close. You know that if you need directions or you're confused about something, there's a staffed building nearby where someone will take the time to help you. It's community infrastructure that most cities don't even consider. And it works. Seventh, the train departure accuracy. Japanese trains run on time to a degree that seems almost supernatural if you're used to transit systems anywhere else. The average delay across the entire rail network is less than 1 minute. On many lines, the average delay is measured in seconds. 18 seconds, 36 seconds. When a train is more than a minute late, the conductor apologizes. When a train is several minutes late, passengers get delay certificates to show their employers or schools as proof that the lateness wasn't their fault. The system is built on obsessive punctuality. Trains are scheduled down to the second. Departure times aren't rounded to the nearest minute. A train might be scheduled to leave at 10, 14, and 40 seconds, and it will leave at exactly that time. The conductors have stopwatches. Platform staff monitor the schedules on screens that show countdown timers. If a train is running even 20 seconds behind, adjustments are made in real time to get it back on schedule. Passengers rely on this precision completely. You can plan your commute down to the minute. If you need to transfer from one line to another, you know exactly how much time you have. You don't build in extra buffer time because you're worried the first train will be late. You trust the schedule, and the schedule delivers. Everywhere else, we treat transit delays as inevitable. Trains are late. Buses are late. You just accept it and build extra time into your day. Japan said no, lateness is a failure, and we're going to engineer it out of the system. And they did. The result is that millions of people move through Tokyo every day without stress, without uncertainty, and without wasted time. It's infrastructure as a form of respect. 8. Heated toilet seats and bidet functions as standard. Walk into almost any bathroom in Japan, public or private, and the toilet seat is gently heated. Not hot. Just warm enough that sitting down in the middle of winter isn't a shock. The seat temperature is adjustable. Some toilets have a control panel on the wall. Others have controls built into a sidearm attached to the toilet itself. But the heated seat is just the beginning. Most toilets also have a bidet function. You press a button, and a small nozzle extends from under the seat and sprays a gentle stream of warm water. The water temperature is adjustable. The pressure is adjustable. The position of the spray is adjustable. Some models have a drying function. You press another button, and warm air blows until you're dry. No toilet paper needed. And these aren't luxury features found only in high-end hotels. These are standard in homes and office buildings and train stations and convenience stores. The technology is everywhere. It's so common that Japanese travelers often complain about how uncomfortable bathrooms are in other countries. Because once you've used a heated seat and a bidet, going back to cold porcelain and dry paper feels like a downgrade. The system is hygienic, comfortable, and environmentally friendly. You use less toilet paper, which means less waste. You feel cleaner, and the experience of using a bathroom just becomes more pleasant. It's one of those things that seems like a luxury until you try it, and then it just seems like common sense. Ninth, cash on delivery for almost everything. In Japan, you can order something online and choose to pay in cash when it arrives. The delivery driver shows up at your door with the package and a portable card reader or a receipt book. You pay right there. Cash, card, or IC card. The driver gives you the package and a receipt, and that's it. This system is especially useful if you don't have a credit card, if you're worried about online payment security, or if you just prefer to pay when you can actually see the product. It removes the risk of paying for something that never shows up. And it's not a niche service. It's a standard option on almost every e-commerce site in Japan. The logistics are surprisingly smooth. The delivery companies have systems in place to handle cash payments at the door. Drivers carry change. If you pay with a large bill, they can make change on the spot. If you want a receipt, they print one using a handheld device. The whole transaction takes less than a minute. In most other countries, cash on delivery either doesn't exist or is treated as an inconvenient legacy option that companies are trying to phase out. Japan kept it because it works. It makes online shopping accessible to more people. It builds trust, and it respects the fact that not everyone wants to put their credit card information into a website. 10th, the lost and found success rate. If you lose something in Japan, there's a genuinely good chance you'll get it back. Wallets, phones, bags, umbrellas, even cash. People turn in lost items to the nearest Koban, train station, or store. Those items are logged and stored. You file a lost item report, and if someone turned in something matching your description, you get contacted. The system works because of a deeply ingrained cultural habit of returning lost items. It's not about getting a reward, it's just what you do. You find a wallet on a bench, you take it to a Koban. You find a phone on a train, you give it to a station attendant. The idea of keeping something that isn't yours just doesn't occur to most people. And because everyone participates in the system works for everyone. There are stories that sound almost unbelievable. A tourist loses an envelope with several $100s in cash. Someone finds it, turns it in, and the tourist gets it back with every bill still inside. A commuter leaves a laptop on a train. The train staff finds it, logs it, and the commuter picks it up the next day. Sunglasses, keys, notebooks, stuffed animals. They all get turned in. They all get returned. This isn't just about honesty. It's about infrastructure that supports honesty. The Koban system makes it easy to return items. The train stations have dedicated lost and found offices with organized storage systems. The process of filing a report and checking for your lost item is simple and quick. The culture values doing the right thing, and the systems make doing the right thing easy. 11th, the public trash separation system. Japan takes waste sorting seriously. Most public trash areas have separate bins for burnable trash, non-burnable trash, plastic bottles, cans, glass, and paper. Each bin is clearly labeled with pictures and instructions. You're expected to sort your trash before you throw it away. And people do. The level of specificity is impressive. A plastic bottle doesn't just go in the plastic bin. You're supposed to remove the cap, peel off the label, rinse the bottle, and then put each component in the correct bin. Caps go in one bin, labels go in another. Bottles go in a third. It sounds tedious, but it becomes automatic once you've done it a few times. And this isn't just a feel-good recycling initiative. The sorting actually matters. Japan has limited landfill space, so efficient waste processing is critical. By separating waste at the source, the country can recycle and process materials much more effectively. Burnable trash gets incinerated in high-efficiency plants that generate energy. Recyclables get processed and turned into new products. The system reduces waste, conserves resources, and keeps cities clean. Everywhere else, recycling is often treated as optional or aspirational. People throw everything into one bin and hope someone else sorts it out later. Japan made sorting a social norm, and because everyone does it, it works. The streets are clean, the waste system is efficient, and people feel a sense of responsibility for the impact of their consumption. 12th, decorative manhole covers. This one is pure delight. In Japan, manhole covers are art. Each city, town, and sometimes even neighborhood has custom-designed manhole covers that feature local symbols, landmarks, animals, or cultural motifs. You'll see cherry blossoms in Tokyo, Mount Fuji in Shizuoka, deer in Nara, koi fish in some areas, cartoon characters in others. The designs are intricate. They're cast in metal, often with multiple colors added through enamel or paint. Some are raised reliefs. Others are fully three-dimensional. Walking through a city, you start noticing them. You look down and see a new design every few blocks. Some cities have maps that show where the special designs are located, turning manhole cover spotting into a casual treasure hunt. There's no practical reason for this. A manhole cover just needs to be strong, durable, and safe to walk on. Japan made them beautiful anyway. Because why shouldn't infrastructure be something worth noticing? Why shouldn't a utilitarian object also be a piece of public art? The tradition started in the 1980s as a way to make expensive sewer infrastructure projects more appealing to the public. Engineers realized that people were more supportive of construction work when the result included something visually interesting. So they started commissioning local artists to design covers. The idea caught on. Now there are thousands of unique designs across the country. It's a small thing, but it reflects a philosophy that runs through everything on this list. Japan doesn't just solve problems. They think about how to make the solution better than it needs to be. A little more convenient, a little more pleasant, a little more worth paying attention to. And the cumulative effect of all these small improvements is a place that just feels like it's been designed with actual people in mind. If you want to see more ideas like this, hit the like button and subscribe. And check out the video on screen for more ways other countries are quietly doing things better than the rest of us. So what's really happening here? Why does Japan consistently get these details right when so much of the world seems content to accept inconvenience as inevitable? The answer isn't that Japanese people are somehow smarter or more creative than everyone else. It's that they've built systems around a specific philosophy. Every person matters. Every interaction matters. And if you can make someone's day slightly better through thoughtful design, you should. That philosophy extends beyond the 12 things we've talked about. It's visible in how convenience stores organize their products, so everything is exactly where you'd logically look for it. It's in the way escalators have handrails on both sides because someone realized that left-handed people might want to stand on the right. It's in how public restrooms always have multiple stall sizes, so people with different needs can find something comfortable. It's in train cars that have priority seating clearly marked, not because the law requires it, but because the culture reinforces that those seats are for people who need them. What's fascinating is that many of these innovations started small. A designer noticed an inconvenience and thought about how to fix it. A company saw an opportunity to make a service better. A city recognized that infrastructure could also be public art. None of these things required revolutionary technology. Most of them just required someone asking the question, how could this be better? And here's what's important to understand. These systems work because they're supported by broader infrastructure and cultural values. The lost and found system only works because people generally don't steal. The vending machines only sit safely unguarded because there's a deep commitment to public order. The trains run on time because an entire system of scheduling and planning and personnel training exists to support that goal. You can't just copy one thing in isolation and expect it to work the same way somewhere else. But you can learn from the philosophy. You can ask better questions about the systems you interact with every day. You can think about whether that system serves the person or whether the person is expected to serve the system. You can push for improvements that seem small but matter enormously. You can advocate for public art and infrastructure. You can demand that apps and websites be intuitive instead of confusing. You can expect customer service to be respectful of your time. The truth is that Japan didn't invent any of these technologies. Heated toilet seats weren't invented in Japan. Vending machines weren't invented in Japan. But Japan looked at these things and thought about how to do them better, how to make them more reliable, how to make them more accessible, how to make them part of a larger system that just works. That's the real insight here. The magic isn't in any single innovation. It's in the commitment to continuous improvement. It's in noticing small annoyances and asking why they have to exist. It's in treating users and customers as intelligent people who deserve consideration. It's in the belief that infrastructure should work so smoothly that people don't even think about it. The technology should be invisible. Only the benefit should be obvious. As you go through your day, start paying attention to the systems around you. Notice where they're frustrating. Notice where they make you feel respected and valued. Notice where companies or governments clearly didn't think through the experience of the person using their system. Notice where someone clearly did. These observations are the beginning of demanding better, and maybe someday the rest of the world will catch up. Thanks for watching. If this video made you think differently about how systems should work, subscribe to see more ideas about how other places are designing their worlds better than we are. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. And let me know in the comments what everyday inconvenience you wish someone would finally fix. What's something small that annoys you every single day that could probably be solved with better design? I'd love to hear what frustrates you. Your answers might inspire the next video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.